Fall 09. Here's another one. Occidental College, wherever that is, never heard of it. It's at Los Angeles, I guess, and the course is called Stupidity. For $4,875, you can study stupidity at this college, and the course description is hard to beat, and it says, quote, stupidity makes itself felt in political life, ranging from the presidency to Beavis and Butthead. Stupidity is neither ignorance nor organicity, the description reads. And if you can understand that, you probably won't end up being dissected in the course. This is what passes for a course now in college. That, along with courses on race, sex, and gender, you get the picture. And now you understand why Barbara can't read and why Johnny can't get a job. How about zombies? At Ole Miss, they teach a course called Zombies. The Living and the Undead. Students will watch zombie films, read zombie books, and write a zombie research paper. Do you realize what this is? This is the death of the West. Don't you understand what it is? Don't you understand why the moderate Muslim is starting to hate the Western civilization? You know, you think all Muslims are dangerous. You're wrong. Most of the Muslims in America, as you know, want the same life you do. The thing is, they don't want the degeneracy to go with it. They don't want their daughter to become a degenerate. They don't want their son to become a degenerate. They want the children to grow up to be something, make something of themselves. They wake up and they see what's going on in this country. They don't understand what country they moved to. You understand? And what I say to you, why I'm telling you all of this, here, students at Berkeley can learn about the television judge arguing with Judge Judy, a rhetoric class that costs a certain amount, a couple of $1,000s, arguing with Judge Judy. So in other words, if you want to study logic, you don't study logic, you argue with a TV character at University of California at Berkeley. It's actually sad. You can read all of these courses by going to my website, michaelsavage.com. 1-800-449-8255. What would you like to talk about? I've just given you some courses. What is the most insane college course you've ever taken? Should Michael Savage accept the invitation to go to, what's the name of the university? I forgot already. Cambridge University, and accept the invitation to debate there. I mean, it's a very interesting invitation. It certainly has distinguished me as the most important talk show host in American history in that regard. You know that they would never invite Rush Limbaugh because he could never debate. And you say, well, why do you keep bashing him? I'm not bashing Rush. I'm trying to tell you that I'm really pissed at Rush. I'm pissed at Hannity. I'm pissed at the hemorrhoid because they will not cover the most vital and important story of their time, which is a fellow talk show host who was their competitor, who has been banned from a Western democracy. I am very pissed at them for getting away with it because you let them get away with it the same way you let the Republicans get away with Van Jones in the White House. And that's why the New Yorker featured me as a man who is a member of a party of one. Moderate drinking may help the brain. This a new article came out in the American Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry. And they reviewed 15 studies that overall, all these studies followed more than 28,000 subjects for at least 2 years. And they found that moderate drinking may help the brain. But there's an interesting part to this. We've known this for a while. Now, all of these epidemiological studies controlled for age, sex, smoking, and other factors. Controlled is a very important word, which I won't explain to you, because many of you will say, well, I don't believe that because we don't know whether they're also smoking or how old they are. Well, that's what controlled means. It's controlled for that. But here's the interesting part. They found that moderate drinking may help the brain, but the studies variously defined light to moderate drinking as 1 to 28 drinks per week. So you could say you're a light to moderate drinker if you have just 1 a week or 3 a day. It's about 3 1/7 a day. Three drinks a day would be 20. 3 times 20. No, 3 times 7 is 20. How much is 3 times 7? I can't think. My ear is out. I'm telling you. 21, right. So it's more than that. It's 4 drinks a day, right? Oh, a week. 28 drinks a week is 4 a day. Is that correct? Yes. So you could still be a moderate drinker if you have 4 a day. I've said that for years. You remember years ago I said to you that the American Medical Association declared moderate drinking as 1 ounce of alcohol a day, while the British Medical Association declared it as 5 ounces of alcohol a day, whether it be 5 beers, 5 wines, or 5 shots, so to speak. And I said, I like the British view of what moderation is. I used to drink about 5 a day years ago. I don't do it anymore. Maybe 1 or 2 is the most I can tolerate. I don't like the feeling anymore after that. Rarely will I hit 3. But let's say you're drinking 1 to 28 drinks a week. It's still considered light to moderate. It's very interesting. I would suggest you do it with food, by the way. Anyway, compared with abstainers, male drinkers reduce their risk for dementia by 45% and women by 27%. And they say, of course, researchers acknowledge that studying the effects of alcohol on dementia is complicated by issues such as beverage type, standards of quantity, individual behavior that may interact with alcohol, blah, 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 blah. But the fact is that alcohol consumption in moderation is extremely helpful. And then they put a caveat, quote, the overall safety of alcohol use in later life needs to be evaluated in relation to all of the available evidence about its... Yeah, all right, fine. In other words, the study proves definitively that your grandfather was 100% right, that drinking is good for you. 1-800-449-8255, michaelsavage.com. Any topic is not fair game. Florida Exodus. There's another article that caught my attention I put on the website. Rising taxes drive out residents. Did you hear what's going on? Dozens of top aides in Miami have been given a raise while property taxes were put through the ceilings. Exorbitant hurricane insurance premiums are doubling. They were doubled by Florida's government-run property insurer. An army of highly paid lobbyists was sent in to push for a steep electricity hike in South Florida's public utility. And so for the first time in Florida's recent history, actually the first time since World War II, people are actually leaving Florida. This is a big deal right now, and it's because of the chasm between the high cost of living and the low level of income that's going on there. But the main thing is the corruption of the politicians. You have fairly low income in Florida with extremely high hurricane insurance premiums, extremely high prices on electricity from Florida Power and Light, and they're lobbying the state for a 30% rate hike next year. And the people say it seems out of control to people here at the time when they can least absorb it. So local governments are totally corrupt. They give themselves raises. They hire their friends, and they give themselves 15% raises, as they've done in Miami, and they staff it with their own corrupt relatives. And here's an example in Miami-Dade. There's a Miami-Dade County Commission, a corruption-tainted body, whose members ran up hundreds of thousands of dollars in police overtime costs by using cops as their personal chauffeurs. And none of the commissioners face any sanctions as a result of doing it. But that's the same story on a national level. Here you have, perhaps right now, the most corrupt member of Congress, Charlie Rangel. Charlie Rangel is the head of the House Ways and Means Committee. The House Ways and Means Committee writes the tax codes for the United States. The tax codes, yes, for the United States of America. Charlie Rangel, it was found, did not report income over quite a few number of years. That was quite a scandal, and he was not punished because his friend Obama is in the White House. But it came out today that Charlie Rangel gave significant amounts of money to members of the federal commission that's supposed to be investigating his excesses, his alleged excesses. So if you think you're living in a banana republic or you're not too far from it, you're not mistaken. Rangel gave contributions to Democrats on a panel probing him. The reigning member of Congress's top tax committee is apparently wrangling other politicos to get him out of his own financial and tax troubles. That's Charlie Rangel. And he's saying it's all racism. Sound familiar? Gunman kills 17 at a Mexico rehabilitation center. Gunman broke into a drug rehab center in Mexico on the war with America, lined people against the wall, and shot 17 people in rehab for drugs and alcohol dead in another bloody day in Mexico's relentless drug war. And that's the news today. I'll be right back.
These guys are so hilarious. I almost drive off the road every morning.
Armstrong and Getty. Weekday morning, 6 to 10. Talk 910 KNEW.
Extra, read all about it. Read the letter inviting Michael Savage to Cambridge University to debate against political correctness. Now, I discussed this at length yesterday. I'm not going to do it again today. You can read about it on my website, and you can read how the UK banned Savage for oil. At least that's what we are beginning to believe it's all about. The same corrupt administration that released the Lockerbie bomber decided first to put Michael Savage on a list with murderers and terrorists. It's horrible, just terrible. But if you didn't listen yesterday, I've been invited to debate at Cambridge University, which is great because it's a very prestigious debating society going back to 1815. Churchill debated there. Teddy Roosevelt debated there. Let's see. Kissinger was invited. The problem is there are some problems with this invitation that I've discovered, but I'm not going to let you know about it now. Okay? Nancy, Houston, Texas, should I debate or not debate? Welcome to the program.
Hi, Dr. Savage. I just wanted to say I've been thinking about this thing that you were talking about with Cambridge University, and I thought to myself, how do you know that these guys aren't just, they really want you to come there because they want you to plead their case? You know that they have to have been studying you, and they know that you're a genius, they know that you're articulate, and they're like, God, here is our Savior. Maybe people will wake up and they'll listen.
You mean they're taking the other side in order to get somebody to articulate what they themselves can't do because of the oppression that they're experiencing from their liberal government?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.